Hey, what is up everyone? So welcome back to another episode. And today I'm going to be talking about, I got tagged in a recent video about Power Player Paul, and he wanted to know what the top 3 coolest things in my collection are. I don't really have an order in these, because I like all of my collection, but in my opinion I'm going to show you the top 3 coolest things, not in any standard order. First off, I want to show you this is my Turbo Express. It's been recapped. The capacitors have been replaced because they're notorious for not running very well. They didn't put good capacitors when they first made these in them, and they've been known to not last very long at all. This one, I got a switch on here. It's been region modded, so that way you can play PC Engine as well as TurboGrafx HuCard games on it. The screen's been modified on here. It's a little bit bigger than the original screen that came on these. I got a Kadash right now currently in the back of this. It's one of the best HuCard games in my opinion for the TurboGrafx or the Turbo Express. Another thing to note about these is they take a bunch of batteries. They take 6 AA batteries, and these batteries, they don't last very long in this at all. So it's recommended to have a AC adapter for it, or also a cigarette lighter plug-in that you can use for it if you're in the car or whatever on trips. So I recommend playing this with the AC adapter if you're going to play it at home, because they eat through batteries really quick. Back in the day they had a TV tuner, which over the air you can no longer use to watch TV on it. I don't have the antenna because there's no point in having it if you can't use it anymore. Why have it? If you look at the prices for these, they're ridiculous, so there's no point in even having one. It's got a earplug here. It's got a volume button. Contrast bright. That way you can make the screen brighter or darker, whichever you want. The earplug here. This is where your AC adapter plug-in goes. There's a COM button down here. I have no idea what that's used for. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments below. Yeah, Turbo Express, pretty nice piece to your collection. Probably not a lot of people have these anymore. Can't talk about the Turbo Express without mentioning this game that I showed you, Kadash. It's made by Working Designs. It's actually one of the games that I'll end up featuring in my RPG collection video coming up. As I said before, I like to keep post-it notes in here, keep the prices so I know what they're went for. I bought it for apparently $49 on August 4, 2004. Or 2014, sorry. The next thing I want to talk about is this is my PC Engine Duo. It's a lot cheaper to get one of these than it is to get a TurboGrafx Duo. These are a lot cheaper. Same thing about these are that the capacitors go bad really quick in these, and because they didn't put good capacitors when they first made these. So if you have one of these, more than likely it's either gone bad or you've already had to do some capacitor work to yours. One cool thing, well, not really cool, but one thing about the Turbo Duo or the TurboGrafx, about them, they only have one controller port on these, which is really weird. Every other console has 2 on there, at least that I can think of. They had like a plug-in that you could, it's called a turbo tap. And you could, I believe it was have 4 other friends be able to play games with you at the same time. There wasn't too many games made with this that allowed you to be able to play more than 2-player games anyway. I've had this modded as well. It's got lights that'll come on right here. It's like a blue light that'll light. Oh, actually, no, it's purple. It'll light up, as well as a power light on here to let you know that it's on and everything, which didn't come with these. Missing the door. It didn't come with the door that goes over the hue card slot. It's also, like I said, been region modded. Originally when I got it, it already had a region mod switch here. You just push it in, and depending on, I can't remember if it's pushed in as US and pushed out as the Japanese PC engine. I'm not sure. I don't remember. It's been a little while since I played it. It's also been modded so that way you got you originally had a plug-in right here that you could only be able to play. Had a plug-in that you only got RF connection on it. So it's got the composites right here, as well as, actually, I told you wrong. This right here is actually S-Video, Super Video. I actually don't have a plug for it. So I've never actually been able to play it in S-Video. I've always only used these, because the TV that I play this on doesn't have S-Video. So I haven't played it in S-Video. I'm sure it's a lot better picture quality. This is your plug-in here for it. The button here opens the CD drive in, and that's actually a repro of Dungeon Explorer 2 that's in there that PC Engine Works did. Great game. I like Dungeon Explorer 2 a lot better than I like the original Dungeon Explorer. So yeah, that's number 2 of the 3. And I can't talk about the PC Engine or TurboGrafx without mentioning both of these games, Ys Book 1 and 2, and Ys 3 Wonders from Ys. Both great RPGs. I have a hard time deciding between these games and Shining the Holy Ark, which is one of my all-time favorite RPGs. All 3 are excellent games. I actually have Ys 4, which has only been released in Japan. There's a translation patch out there, but I don't really know how to be able to make a copy of that into the English version. Not really sure how to do that, so that's why I don't have the English copy. So whenever I play Ys Book 4, I'm usually watching a YouTube video that's been translated, so that way I can play along and know what the dialogue is. Otherwise, I don't understand Japanese, and I don't understand the story. So it's nice that there's that out there on YouTube. Alright, and the very third thing that I want to show you that I have in my collection is actually, I had a tough time deciding on what the third option should be. So I'm gonna show actually a couple of items that I think is pretty cool in my collection, because I couldn't decide on number 3. First thing I want to show you is trying to figure out how to get this camera to do. Okay, so the third thing that, since I couldn't decide on what the items were, this right here is a ColecoVision expansion port that would allow you to be able to play Atari VCS cartridges on the ColecoVision. I actually, this is complete in box and everything, I actually don't have a ColecoVision in my collection currently. It's something that I have not purchased. I bought this because I was planning on getting a ColecoVision. I still haven't got one. So I've been wanting to get into it. This is actually one of the very first memories that I had as a kid with video games. The very first console that I actually had was a ColecoVision, and no longer have that ColecoVision. But I've been wanting to get into this because it's something that I had memories of. I remember playing Ladybug, I remember playing Mousetrap, I remember playing the Smurfs game, and Donkey Kong Jr. Those are the games that I grew up playing before I got into Nintendo. So those are some of my earliest childhood memories of playing some video games. Also, the other thing that I couldn't figure out how, you know, the third thing what I wanted to show you was, well, let me grab it real quick. This is the Sega Genesis Model 3, complete in box, that I found at Goodwill. Surprisingly, I only paid $5 for this. I could not believe it when I found this at Goodwill last year. The reason I'm saying it's one of my favorite pieces in my collection is because it's complete in box. I just couldn't believe my eyes when I saw this at Goodwill. I could not pass it up, especially for $5. Yeah, I already had a Genesis. I had the original Model 1, but the Model 3 complete in box, that was a great find in my opinion. And there's only one other thing I wanted to show you. Let me get it. This is my Ark the Lad poster that I got a couple of years ago. It's one of my proudest pieces. And you may be thinking to yourself, a poster, really ain't a big deal, but it's the only poster that I actually have that's in my video game collection. Like I said, I'm a huge RPG fan, and when I saw that, I could not pass it up. It's been rolled up for a long time, so that's why I actually have my PlayStations on top of there, as well as Ark the Lad the game and Lunar, just so that way it's not rolled up so you can actually see it. Anyways, just wanted to show that to you, and let me get back over here so you can see me back on camera. This is actually my Batman shirt that I got the other day. Anyways, thanks for taking time out of your busy lives to check out this new video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And just to let you know, I have a few more things coming up on my channel. I'm going to be doing an RPG special before long, showing you my RPG collection. Had a few people mention they wanted to see my TurboGrafx collection, which is fairly big. So anyways, I hope you have a great week, and happy holidays, everyone. And I want to say thanks again to Power Player Paul for tagging me in his video, and have a great week. Oh, and one more thing. There's 3 channels that I wanted to tag in this video that I want to see what their collection is of their 3 top coolest things in their collection. First person I wanted to challenge for this video is Collector Fanatic 101. I'd love to see what his 3 coolest items in his collection are, so I'm challenging him to this, number 1. The second person that I would like to mention in this is Cliff from Throwback Gaming. He's a huge RPG fan, just like I am. I would love to see what his opinion is on these 3 top favorite things in his collection. Third person I want to challenge is another YouTuber here where I'm at, which is actually Georgia, just in case none of you know that. His name's Emceemur, and he's a friend of Chris Miller's over at CM Retro Gaming. So I wanted to mention Emceemur. I would love to see what the 3 coolest things in your collection are. I'm going to leave their links in the video below. And anyways, have a great week.